right, here we go. We're at the Indian Boundary Campground here just off the Cherahole Skyway, just east of Tellico Plains, Tennessee. We're gonna take Citigo Creek Road to a cutoff called Farr Gapp and head up the mountain, Farr Gapp, and make a big loop and come around. A lot of campers already pulling out this morning, but you can see all the reservations signs. They're all reserved for the weekend, so they're starting to come in and fill up. We got to get out of here by 2 o'clock, so get this ride over with and come back. It shouldn't take us more than a few minutes to get hooked up and hit the road. There's Leo. He's ready to go. He's ready to rock and roll. He's got a little Hawk 250. It's a made in China bike. Dirt cheap. Morning. Doing good. You ready to rock and roll? I'd be on your best behavior because I'm videoing. I'll tell you what, I'll just follow you, okay? So you can just ride at your pace? Okay, I think that'd be better. I'll be right behind you. I met Leo last night, and turns out Leo was born about 9 days after I was, in the same year. So we're only 10 days apart in age. Another senior citizen out riding motorcycles, enjoying life. He says he rides a Road King Harley Davidson street bike, and he just got into riding off-road. So I don't know what his capabilities are, so I figured it'd be best to let Leo lead the way. Interesting to see how this Hawk performs. You can buy one of them Hawks for about $1,100 delivered to your door. So it's definitely not a bike that you just ride and forget about. You're going to have to tinker with it and keep up on the maintenance. But for a cheap way to get into riding trail bikes, I guess that's the way to go. For you folks that are familiar, right now we're on the part of the Smoky Mountain 500. Basically this loop up the Farr Gapp and up and around is the Smoky Mountain, part of the Smoky Mountain 500. This road right here will take us down to the Citigo River, and we'll follow along that for a mile or two until we turn off to take the road up to Farr Gapp. Yesterday on this road I ran across a convoy of bear hunters. It's what they call bear hunting training season, and they're allowed to come out with their dogs and hunt down the bears, chase the bears up a tree, but they're not allowed to shoot the bear right now. I guess the official hunting season will be later, but right now they can actually go out and train their dogs. So there was about at least 10 vehicles all in the convoy, and they had all their hunting dogs in the back. This road is perfect riding condition. It's hard-packed gravel and clay, and it got enough moisture to keep all the dust down, so there's no dust at all. And but it's not wet enough to be slippery, so you can't ask for any better than that. Here's a hiking trail up ahead right there, but no motorized vehicles allowed. But right here, down here at the bottom, there's a cement bridge that goes across the creek, and there's like 4 campsites right over here, right on the river. But I haven't seen anybody camping there this week, the last couple days anyways. Right back there is where that campground's at. All right, Now we've made it to the Citigo River. Down here along the creek, you got a lot of potholes. Watch out for. Pretty creek. I wonder if they probably stocked this with trout, maybe. I don't know. They got a big hatchery not too far from here. Over there by Bald River Falls, they got a fish hatchery. All right, here we go. Here's the turnoff to Farr Gapp. All right, Leo was just telling me that that bike's got 115 miles on it. He bought it with 15 miles on it, and he's put 100 on it over the last year. But so I guess it's pretty much a stock Hawk. He says nothing's fallen off of it. He's made sure he tightened up all the bolts and everything, but other than that, he says he only rides it when he brings it up here camping or whatnot. So that's pretty cheap. If you want to get into the dual sport, I guess, or some trail bikes, that's a pretty cheap way to get into it. Then if you find your needs maybe a little bit more later on, you just sell it and buy you something else. But had a little rain off and on this morning. Just some little sprinkles is all. So hopefully we don't hit a rainstorm up here, because I ain't got no rain gear with me. Well, we're riding along this road, and I was thinking, gosh, it's getting dark. I must have my sun visor down, and I go to work my sun visor, and I realize my sun visor's up. And so it's just like a rainforest in here. I'm pretty damn cold. I got this summer jacket. I got a lycra shirt on underneath, and this is a summer jacket with a lot of flow-through ventilation. And with it being damp kind of in the air, it's I wish I would have put on a long sleeve cotton shirt underneath this. It kept me a little bit warmer than what I got. Looks like the road's getting a little rockier here. I had to let some air out of my tires. I don't think they're fully inflated. Got some bear hunter here. I'm gonna let some air out of my tire, Leo. I'm gonna let just a little bit of air out of my tires. I got mine pumped up for the street. I should have let some out before, but let a little bit out, not a whole lot, but all this rocky stuff. You know, some people that they freak out about. I was reading a thread, the other day on some forum, and these guys thought that if they let the air out of the tire, they'd get a flat and they'd ruin the tire and all this nonsense. But with these little low power bikes, you're not going to hurt anything. Oh, I'm going to see right now. Let me kind of turn my screen off. I need to hook up a power supply to this one. On my other bike, I have a power supply, so. No, we're not quite at the top yet. I know at the top there's a split. You can go right or left, and we're going to be going left. But okay. Yeah, did I tell you yesterday I seen like 10 of these guys in a convoy? There was 10 of these trucks all lined up, and I didn't know what was going on at first, but I seen all these guys standing around, and then I realized, found out they was bear hunters. And what was interesting is, he's a pretty big fella. They was all like that. I said, they're hunting bears, and these guys are all as big as bears themselves, I swear to God, practically every one of them was great big burly guys, I'm like, well, that's funny. All right. They're dogs, friendly dogs there. Checking out the action. Oh yeah, that's a little better. I can feel the difference. Just letting a little bit of air out. Not quite as jarring over all them rocks. More bear hunters. We're probably gonna run into a bunch of them up here. So when these guys are up here, we need to make sure we stay to the right and get our butts run over by these guys. One of the fellas told me that when they're running their dogs, they can drive kind of fast along this road following the dogs. Then we'll start back down. Okay, we're at the top of the ridge, and we're just going to follow the ridge here. You can see the little haze in the sky here. Here we go. Yeah, look at where. I think we're almost in the clouds up here. It's a little hazy. Well, I'm glad I let that air out of the tires. But it's a pretty good incline here. Of course, you can't tell with the camera, but we're still climbing. And it's cold out up here. I don't have a temperature gauge on this bike, so I don't know what the temperature is, but it's a lot cooler than it was down there in the campground, that's for sure. Got a beautiful view off here to our left, looking across the mountains. I want to slow down here just so you can get a view out there. Oh, that's pretty. All right, let's go catch up. You're probably wondering what happened. Up around these mountain roads, you very rarely ever get an opportunity to get a vista view looking out over the mountains, because the trees always obscure everything. So that's why I like riding motorcycles out west, because you got them scenic vistas where you can just see for miles and miles and miles. Leo heard some rattling going on his bike. We stopped a few minutes ago to check and see if everything was tight. Everything seems to be okay, but I'm on lookout patrol to see if anything falls off his bike. When it comes to these motorcycles, you know, that blue Loctite is your friend. You can see we're about 3/4 complete on the loop. Looking at my GPS map there. I don't think you'll be able to see it on the camera, but we'll be heading down and rehooking up with the Citigo River at the bottom of this road here. Well, we're almost getting close to the river down here, and it's it's dark down here. No sunlight reaching us at all. It's dark and damp down here. Well, we're not too far from the Citigo River. We almost made it. We're going down a steep decline here. What do you say, steep decline or a steep incline? I don't know. Does incline mean up or down, or does it just mean up? I'll have to look into that. Oh, look at that log. It looks like a porcupine log. All right, it looks like we've made it to back to the river. Do you have a watch?
No, I didn't bring my cell phone or watch either one.
I think it's 11:21. You wanna go up to that Jake Best campground and you wanna look at it? Same camper there that was there yesterday. Well, this is it. It is. They got, the pads are not that long, but they're not too bad. And there's nobody here. Still, I come up here yesterday, there was nobody here, and they're a quiet little place. And you can reach this from the other direction. And it's pavement, just not too far down, it turns to pavement. So I don't know the exact route to get here, to make it easy pulling a trailer, but it's possible. Well, we're heading back to the campground. A couple of bicycles here. All right, we made it back to Indian Boundary Campground. It's a nice place. They got a nice swimming beach straight forward there. But over here, there's about 90 something campsites. They keep full all the time. But $20 a day. With your discounts, you get $5 off. With a senior discount at this location. I think Leo's going to come by and look at my trailer. There's my lovely wife, Molly, holding down the fort there.